Everyone. This is Sotiris Basakaropoulos, and I would just like to welcome you to our live team training hangout with myself and Matthew Armstrong. And in tonight's hangout, we're going to be talking about a few different things. The things I'm going to specifically be talking about will be about blogging, about how to do a blog post and what you should actually do, inside your blog post, and also a wee bit about also syndicating your blog post. And then if you have a notebook handy, I'm also going to go through a few of the different sites that I give out over the last few weeks trainings, where you can go that you can actually use to syndicate your blogs to as well. Sorry, that's it. So had a wee hiccup there. So basically, I'll put you now on to Matthew, and Matthew be going through some stuff with you first. Okay, so I will be following on after Matthew. Okay, Matthew. So nice to see you.
Yeah, you too, Sotiris. Thanks. And some of you are already in our team, and some of you have not yet joined. So as Sotiris is talking about the blogging and everything, you might not know what he's talking about, but keep listening in, and it will all become very clear. And what I really wanted to talk to you about this evening carried on from last week. So if you haven't watched last week's hangout, then it's a bit of a carry on from that. But I want to incorporate also some of my story as well, which I haven't really talked about before. Those of you some of you know me very well, some of you don't know me very well. So I wanted to let you know more about me and what I went through basically in different times. And we all go through stuff in life, and that is life, right? So let's go back, because sometimes you're in a place and you don't know how to get from where you are to where you want to go, and you might see someone who is at a place where you want to get to, but you think that there's some sort of like discord there. There's a disconnection where you think, well, how do I get from here to there? They're at this place. They don't have the struggles that I have, or they've got more resources than I have, or more skills, or whatever. And everybody's got to start somewhere. Everyone's got to start somewhere, and everyone will have their struggles. And I'm no exception. So that's what I want to talk a little bit about, because to get to where you want to go to from where you are, well, one thing is you kind of have to know where you are, and to not be in denial about it is one thing. And the other thing is to get to where you want to go, you have to be clear on where you want to go, and you also have to become a different person. You have to become a different person to get to where you want to go. So a lot of the time we think we just need a few little strategies and a few little techniques, and then we will do it. And while that is definitely a huge part of how to do it, you also need to shift your belief system. Quite often you need to shift your values around, and this is the internal game. You have the external game of wealth, the external game of business and strategy and stuff like that, but then you also have the internal game, and if there's a few conflictions in there, a few things that aren't in alignment, or maybe an attitude that you haven't quite yet developed or tapped into, then no matter how many strategies you get given, no matter how many trainings you have on how to, if you don't start to work out the internal stuff, then the external stuff is useless without it. You need a symbiotic combination of the both, and so you need a paradigm shift. We all need a paradigm shift, because I'm looking to where I want to go to next, and I realize within myself that I need to create another paradigm shift within myself to get to where I want to go to next, right? And so wherever you are right now, you also need to create that paradigm shift. And the paradigm shift is really a shift in, one of it's a shift in habits. You need to change the things that you're doing every day. If you look at what you were doing 3 months ago, what did a day in your life look like 3 months ago, and what does a day in your life look like right now? If it's exactly the same, and if it was exactly the same 3 months before that, and 3 months before that, and 3 months before that, and 3 years before that, roughly, then you're just going to continue to get the same results, and you're going to continue to struggle. So you have to look at that and say, okay, well, where do I need to go to next? What level do I need to go to next? And for us, Satyrus, myself, we said, okay, let's do some live training, because we see that that's a new level we need to go to, right? And that might be what it is for you now. I don't know, but you have to make some sort of shifts in your beliefs. Like I said, your values and your attitude, which is overall your behaviors, your daily behaviors, which would create your habits, right? And so looking back to like 10, 11 years ago, like I was in a place where I had hit rock bottom, complete rock bottom. So just to give you an idea that maybe you're at rock bottom, maybe you've been there, and you're just not sure how to get up. And what I want to show you is when I came to Empower Network is what really kind of switched me onto it, and I thought, wow, this is incredible, because I looked at my past experiences, my past successes, and how I was able to lift myself up from rock bottom. And I had done a lot of the things that are part of the 8 core commitments within Empower Network. So you'll come to an understanding of that in a little while when I get to it. So looking back to 2003, 2004, it was 2003 anyway. 2003, I was at rock bottom. I was in a place where everything was great. You know when everything is just great in your life and then it just crashes? I was in that place where everything was great and then everything crashed. I was living with my wife at the time in California, Long Beach. I had a job with working for a friend of mine for a big staging and rigging company, being on Hollywood movie sets and things like that. And it was my ambition at the time to get into the whole Hollywood scene, the movie business and all that, And it seemed like I was in a pretty good place to do that, and we were living a really nice lifestyle out there. Then we came back over to Ireland for Christmas to visit our family and everything. They were going to come over and we were going to spend Christmas there. And things went completely downhill, and she ended up leaving me over that Christmas, which was just like a total sledgehammer in the face. Just kind of didn't see it coming, blindsided. Maybe I did see it coming, but maybe I was just in complete denial. Maybe I was just in complete denial of it happening. And so I went into I suppose you would call it a deep depression. I was in a very low state. My friend asked me to come back to the US to carry on working for him and to hang out and whatever, and I just couldn't do it. I was in such a low state that I was just completely numb. If you ever know the feeling of when you wake up and you've been sleeping on your arm or your arm's over your head or something, and your arm is completely dead and you have to lift it up to make it work. Like every cell in my body felt like that, my brain felt like that, my life felt like that. I was in a state of just numbness, and nothing seemed to make sense. My whole world that I created just kept crashing down around me at the time. And so what I did was I suppose I medicated myself. I medicated myself with alcohol and with smoking joints and things like that. And so I for like 3 months I just partied for 3 months, but it wasn't really fun. It was just getting totally wasted with another friend of mine whose girlfriend had left him. So we just got wasted together for 3 months. Lived in this. I lived in this really basic place. I had no money. I was just at this like rock bottom place, And it was horrible. It was at a point where I was just kind of like sitting, rocking backward and forward, just waiting for, I don't know, to go out again that night. And then after about 3 months, I've always had an attitude, like an unreasonable sort of attitude, which I talk about sometimes. And that attitude was still there. It was just become dormant for a while, while I kind of got over the shock of what had happened to my life. And so I said, okay, I've got to sort things out here. I've just partied for 3 months solid, but it wasn't partying. It was just drowning my sorrows really and medicating myself. I need to get things sorted. So I went and got a job, and I got a job working at a big construction site, just steel erecting, things like that. And I just worked at that. But I remember we used to be driving to work in the van early Monday morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning. We'd be driving to work, and I used to pray for a head-on collision. I'd say, God, if somebody if there has to be a head-on collision, I'd like it to be us. You know. So that's how low I was. That's the rock bottom place I was, But anyway, I started to get it together a bit. I started to work, and then I started to get back into the gym, started going to the gym, and then a friend recommended me a book. And the book was called Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. And I'd never heard of personal development before that. I hadn't heard of Tony Robbins or anything like that before at this stage, And so I got that book, and while I was, at my time, we were in the bed and breakfast that we used to stay in when we were working on the construction site, and I'd be like lying there in bed reading this book every night, and the guy that was in the room with me would be like, what's that crap you're reading? And I said, I don't know, I'm just reading it anyway, some crap, and but it did something. It started to create a paradigm shift within me. I started to change my beliefs. I started to see what was possible. In it, one of the things in it, I remember Tony saying was, he was flying his jet helicopter over a building, and he looked down at the building and he realized that it was the building that he used to be a janitor in 7 years previous to that. And I said, okay, well, that's what's possible. He was once a janitor, and now he's flying a jet helicopter. I wasn't so far off that. I was, working the job that I hated, I suppose. At times I hated it, but my life seemed crap, and I was staying in a B&B with some smelly guy beside me, and it just didn't seem cool. But I started to kind of get myself together. I started going back down to the gym, training in the evenings, reading this book. I just devoured this book. I just completely devoured it. Anytime we're in the van, I'd be reading the book anytime, any off time whatsoever. And it changed me. That book, it's called Awaken the Giant Within, and it did. I was kind of dead inside and dormant. It started to awaken that giant within me, which everybody has that. That's the thing. Everybody has that. It's just, what is it going to take just to activate that, And so then I went on to, I thought, okay, I'm gonna change my life. That's what it's all about. It's all about changing your life. So I thought, I'm going to change my life. And so what I did was, I got Tony's audios then, Get the Edge audios, and I said, okay, I'm going to get out of this job. I'm going to open a business. So I did. I got out of that job, and I opened a cleaning business. And so I opened this cleaning business, and we used to do window cleaning and house cleaning for new builds. And at the time, there was a big building boom happening in Ireland. So I got a lot of work. So I had a really successful business, like literally off the bat, and I had like a number of staff working at times, and things started to work well. Started to build my self-worth again, my self-esteem, and so I had this business that I built, and then I was listening to Tony's audios the whole time. Anytime I was in my car, I had these audios playing over and over and over again, and my friends were going, "Oh, you're getting brainwashed. You're this like motivational guy from America. He's brainwashing you. He just wants you to buy more stuff." I said, "Well, it's been working for me, And so I carried on with it because it seemed to be helping me. And then I went to an event, right? Then I thought, okay, well, I want to see this guy live. So then I went to Tony Robbins' event when I was on in London. And, at the event, one of the things he does is he upsells his other events. He says, okay, if you think this is good, this is kindergarten. You want to go to Life Mastery, you want to go to Mastery University, then this is the next level. And it was like a £5,000 investment at the time. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I went up to the front and I filled in the forms. I said, look, I don't have the money on my credit card right now, but I filled in these forms. I'm going to do it, And so at the time, I was also in the process of buying a house because I kind of got myself back on my feet again. And I was buying a house, and I was going, how am I going to do this, pay for this thing as well? So I said, I'll open another business. So that's my attitude. I'll open another business because I just come back from the seminar all empowered, right? And this event, and I'd already said that I was going to go to the next event and the next event, and I'd signed these papers and everything saying I was going to do it because I just said I was going to do it no matter what, and I'll find a way. So what I did when I came home, I just, because I'd made a decision to do it, I sort of answers started to come to me. I said, okay, I'm going to open a water filter business. I'm going to buy water filters from the manufacturers, and I'm going to sell them, and I'm going to go around people's houses and fit them. Because there didn't seem to be anyone else in the area doing that, and it was something that I liked. I liked good, clean, filtered water. So it was aligned with me. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did. I sourced a manufacturer. It was quite easy. I sourced a manufacturer, and I opened this water filter business. Basically, I advertised in newspapers. I advertised on the radio, and the radio advertisement just flopped. I did a £600 advertisement on the radio, and I got no sales from it. I did better with the newspapers and things like that. But that's business, That's business. Some money you lose, some money you win, and that was the game, right? And so I then made enough money that I could go to those other seminars. So then I went to a Date with Destiny seminar, and then that just blew my mind again. A whole new paradigm. My belief shifted, my value shifted. My self-worth went up, everything, my self-esteem. I shifted a lot of things at that event. And so then when I came back, I got more aligned with my life purpose and everything. And then I opened another business. I opened this, what I call the Human Development Center. I had this center in the middle of the town where I was doing coaching, I was doing personal training, I was teaching martial arts classes, which is just like a passion of mine since I was a child. Teaching fitness classes and all sorts of things, yoga, all sorts of things are happening there. So this was great. This was like a lifetime dream was happening here, And so it was all about the book, right? Reading the books. I'd also read a lot of other books as well from that, and reading the books, listening to the audios, going to the events. That's what got me out of that hole. That's what changed my life. Or if I didn't pick up that book, if I didn't pick up those audios and listen to them, and read them, and go to those events, maybe I'd still be just working on those construction sites, or maybe I just would have gone even further down and I wouldn't even be here anymore. Who knows? So that's the power. That's the power of reading great books, of listening to audios, of going to events. It's very, very powerful. And those are three of the core commitments in Empower Network. So what happened after that was then things went down again, right? As on this high, and then things went down.
Yeah.
And then that was around 2008. That was the property crash.
Yeah.
And I'd hedged a lot of my bets on my house. I was about to sell my house and make quite a bit of money from it, and then it crashed, right?
Yeah.
And I'd invested a lot of money in different things, and it all went down. Yeah. And so I ended up with nothing, and that stayed like that for a while. But what I had also created was I had a coaching business, which I then put online, and I was coaching internationally. Mm-hmm. And but then my coaching clients dried up because most of them were in Ireland, and people just weren't paying for coaches anymore, And so everything started to dry up, right? And so then, I'm sure that wasn't the case for everyone. I'm sure some people had other skills and abilities that I just didn't have at that time that were able to carry on their business no matter what the economy was. At the time, I went down with the economy, And so then I started to get into internet marketing, and I wrote a book then. That's what I did. I wrote a book. So, because I was reading a lot, and what gave me the belief that I could write a book, apart from everything I'd done with Tony Robbins and everything, what gave me the belief was I started writing articles, and I started putting those articles, sending those articles out to my my list of subscribers. So I've just built up a few hundred subscribers, and I started sending my articles out to them, and I started getting really good feedback from them. And so then that gave me the belief that, wow, I could actually write a book, right? So then I wrote a book, and I thought that was going to be the big thing. I'm going to write the book, and then that's going to shoot me up, and going to have some international recognition and clients and all sorts of things are going to happen.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It actually lost me money. So I hedged a lot of bets on that, and writing the book actually lost me money in the end. A lot of the shops didn't pay me. A number of them went down. Bookstores all over Ireland, I had my books in all the bookstores, and a lot of them closed up, or a lot of them just refused to pay because they were suffering. So yeah. I lost a lot of money with that. And then it got to another low point where we were actually homeless. We were completely broke. We were homeless, and we actually lived in a tent for a little while. And then started to get it together again. I got a job for a little while doing this, selling some investments and things. Got back up a little bit, and then carried on doing my stuff online. And I went to an internet marketing seminar, and in the seminar, I heard this concept that it was work once and get paid over and over again. And although I'd heard that many times before, I didn't really relate to it or connect with it or whatever. But this time, it seemed to sink in, like the penny dropped. I was like, work once, get paid over and over again. And I saw how it was possible with informational products online, and how I could provide the world with a lot of really good products and good trainings and things, and at the same time get paid for it. But I was lacking a lot of the skills. I was lacking the marketing skills. I was lacking a lot of the skills that you need online, right? And copywriting, all these things that you really kind of need if you're going to go out by yourself and do these things. Very, very difficult. Not quite difficult, but very difficult. And so a lot of failure going through that. A lot of falling down, a lot of learnings, and a lot of disappointments doing that. Made great products, thought this is great product, people are going to love this, it'll go viral or whatever. But we just didn't have the skills, didn't have the marketing skills, didn't have the copywriting skills, like I said, didn't have the contacts for doing joint ventures and all the other things that you do. And so it didn't really work for us. So we struggled with our online stuff for quite a while. And then I think I'd already met Satiris at some internet marketing events. I knew Satiris at that time. Well, he was having some success online with various things he was doing.
I actually met you because of your book. I met you because of your book, because a guy handed me your book at a seminar, and then I added you as a friend on Facebook, and then we met at the next seminar. Sorry.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. So something I did get from the book was I did get friends, right? I met people and connected with people all around the world from that as well. So then after that, different things happened. But then after that, what happened? Then one day, Satiris came around to visit us and said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing called Empower Network." I mean, it's this amazing concept that's been kind of put together and created into this platform, this blogging platform. And Satiris said, "Look, it's the best thing I've ever seen in all my years online." And I said, "Okay, yeah." And Satiris just said, "Look, it can rank your videos," because I wasn't really thinking about it at the time. He said, "Look, you can rank your videos higher in the search engines, things like that, because I had a YouTube channel and everything." And so I said, "Okay, I'll sign up to it, because I'll just on your words here. I don't even need to look at it. I'll just sign up to it. I'll throw some of my videos up or whatever." Yeah. And so then that's what happened. I signed up, I didn't watch any of the fast start training. I didn't look at anything. I just joined up, went in, and it said start blogging, and clicked the button, and I just put some videos in a blog, and then I forgot about it. And then we went away on a 6-week trek across the north of Spain, 900 kilometers. We walked across the north of Spain, and we came back, and then a friend of mine, actually, a guy I know, had joined my team just from seeing one of my emails, or I didn't know how he looked for my video or something, but he found one of my links anyway, and he went into a Power Network, and he watched all the fast start trainings, and he came to me, and he said, "This is amazing," and I'm like, "Is it?" He's like, "Yeah." He was so excited. He was so on fire about it. I'm like, "Really? Oh, okay." I better take a look at it, you know. So then I said, okay. So I went into my back office and I said, okay, there's these fast start trainings. Okay, I'll take a look at those. So I watched the fast start trainings, and then again, the penny dropped. I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. And it reminded me of the different times in my life where I was struggling, or I was at rock bottom, or whatever, and what got me out of that. And it was the 8 core commitments that are in Empower Network. It was the things that, you know, a lot of the things that people kind of push to the side and don't do and don't think is important. And it was those things that really got me out of a hole, or changed my paradigm, as I say, and that's what it does. Like reading every day, listening to audio every day, going to events. I'm like, okay, well, these are the things that really help me. Blogging daily. You know, that's how I wrote my book. How I had the belief and confidence to write my book was that I wrote articles, and I emailed my articles out, and then I got feedback on them. That's what gave me that. And so then I saw blogging every day. Write a blog every day. Send it out to your list. Post it here. You know, all the different strategies, and I said, okay, well, yeah, that's it. You know, marketing. Okay, well, that's how I built my businesses, with marketing. It was offline marketing, but with marketing. You know, that's how I had those successes. You know, coaching. You know, coaching and mentoring. Well, that's what I did. I started coaching and mentoring. So I saw all these things. I'm like, okay, well, this is an ingenious system, and so there was the fast start videos, you know, done by and there's new fast start videos out now for anyone on the team who hasn't seen them.
They're
They would create the whole series of new fast start videos, which are just off the charts. You know, like serious Jedi, you know, reworking the mind stuff in there. And I've only got halfway through them, actually, because they're quite a lot longer than the older fast start videos.
Yeah,
and so. You know, that's the key in there. That's the key that unlocks the door, is the fast start trainings and the 8 core commitments, right? And when you follow those, that's when the door will open, and you'll stop struggling, and you'll start moving forward on a very confident path. And that brings us up to about now. So that's for the last 10, 11 years in a nutshell, given to you of the ups and downs, you know. And I suppose I wouldn't change it for anything, you know, because it's given me a lot of wisdom, and it's strengthened my character in a lot of ways, going through the various struggles, the ups and downs, the disappointments, the failures, this, that, and the other, having a high expectancy of something and then it not working out, and still being able to keep going with that, you know. And that's the attitude, if anything, that I want to pass on, is to be successful, to be really successful at anything in life. You have to have that attitude to keep going, no matter what, to always be looking, no matter what situation you're in right now, to be looking for the next step up. Always be looking, what's the next step up? Yeah, how does it get any better than this? What's the next step up? what can we do to improve? How can we make tomorrow even better than today? And when you go from that point, no matter what's happened, instead of complaining about it, blaming someone, my life's crap because she left me, bullshit, that's just BS, that's just the belief system. The people that I've seen that have created the biggest turmoil in my life, or who have supposedly gone against me or betrayed me or whatever, to me they're the real angels. They're the best, because they're the ones that bring the best out of me. Those people. So I thank all those people, all the people who supposedly have done me any sort of wrong. I'm just grateful to those people, because they're my fuel, and I learn a lot from that. And they allow me to kind of dig down deep within myself and bring out some courage sometimes that I didn't know that I had or hadn't accessed previously. So that's another thing in life. You can't blame anyone for your circumstances, because everyone is there as a tool for your learning to improve. And so there's no bad people in our life. Everyone is there to help us become more of ourselves, a better version of ourselves, if you will.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely, definitely.
Yeah.
It's
So just to round off with that, as I was saying, with the struggle that we had with creating the various products and then marketing them and everything, when I came to Empower Network, that was all just taken care of. Within it, I was getting the personal development training, getting the marketing training, building the teams and everything, without having to be an expert at everything. And as I was saying last week, what Empower Network gives you is a track to run on, right? Before that, it's like, okay, you got to get from A to B, but you've got no route. There's no track. You're just walking through a jungle going, okay, this is the wrong way, back. Okay, this is the wrong way. Here's a river. Okay, we have to go completely right back. Where it's like, okay, here's the track. All you have to do is put one foot in front of the other, and you will create success. But it's amazing how many people will not put one foot in front of the other. And you just got to keep taking the next step, even if you can't see the whole way. Take the next step, and every step you take, the way will lighten up, and you'll see new things to your left and to your right, things that you didn't see before. But to get to that place where you see these things to your left and right, you've got to keep stepping forward. And as you step forward, other things will become apparent. So that the best thing I can say to anyone is keep going. I didn't know what was going to happen when I used to be sitting in that van with zero resources, apparently zero prospects, this job and no other real qualifications to speak of, how I was going to get out of that. But suddenly something appeared. I read a book. It gave me light bulbs went on in my head. It gave me new ideas. I listened to audios. I got new ideas, new concepts, went to events. It all starts to, new light bulbs come up. And when those light bulbs come on, it brightens up everything. And you see things that might have been right in front of your face before, but you couldn't see them before. So keep the faith, keep going. And if you haven't already joined us, join our team. Like if I would have had this 10, 11 years ago, what a godsend. But we all got to go through what we got to go through to get to where we are. And it's life is a journey, and whatever happens, you just got to respond to it in the best possible way possible, rather than reacting to it. And that is the attitude that I wish to pass on. Over to you, Satiris.
Okay, Matthew. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, 100%. See, exactly everything you're saying in that story. Basically, a lot of things happen to all of us along this journey, and at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you continue in the journey and you decide, you sort of go after your goals and what you're focused on, and you don't allow yourself to get drawn back by what other people say, by the dream stealers, who want you to be like them, they want you to go and be in your job and do what everyone else does, basically. And you know, I myself, it's the same. A lot of people think that the road to success is like a straight road, but it's like goes down and up and down and up, and even you're nearly up to the top, and then you go down again and up, and that's just the way it is. And the only way to the top is to just sort of keep on going with the ups and downs. But a lot of people, stop or fall short, or they give up, or they, just get a low point, which they don't have to do. They don't have to do. With the right tools, with the right trainings, with the right people to surround themselves with, they wouldn't get in that sort of, position and stay there. It would be a temporary thing, and it is temporary. It is temporary. But sometimes, you have to make a decision. The most successful people have had their backs against the wall, and that's why they've made a decision. And sometimes people can just be too comfortable in their job or their business, and they feel they don't have to make a decision, and then down the line, unexpectedly, at the worst possible time, something happens to them. They become redundant after 50 years, or, someone who's been taking care of them, paying for them, dies, or something happens, and then suddenly, they have to start doing something. you know so even if you're not in that position, you don't know when you're going to be in that position. So it's really, really important to learn and grow and focus on what you're doing. um, Basically, I'd just like to maybe go into some of the actual stuff about blogging and marketing online and so on. If you're just here, and you're not on our team and you've just happened to get one of our emails, quite often you'll find that a lot of people tend to have their own businesses online, or you might be in a job and you might be basically looking to start a business online to be able to earn some money from home, so that you can work less, or so that you can bring your spouse home from work or whatever. So for any of those circumstances, this kind of stuff will be really beneficial to you. The great thing about obviously being able to start a business from home is that you can work, and you can sort of work it to your own time, to your own hours. You can get to see your children grow up. One of the things that happened with me, I actually lost a job which I'd never done in my life before. It was a few months before my son was born, and I was doing very well in the job. I was the second best person on the telesales in the building. I was actually doing telesales at the time, and I actually quite liked it. A lot of people don't like that sort of stuff, but I actually quite liked it. And I decided to take some. I decided that there was something I had to do, basically, and I told them I was going to be late, and they fired me. They basically fired me from my job because I was 2 hours late, which I told them I was going to be. And that was just basically because the team leader just took a dislike to me, right? So anyway, I got fired. It was the first time I'd ever got fired from a job ever. And I remember walking out, and thinking, I have a son on the way, and there's like no time, obviously, when you feel the need to have money, to have an income, right? And when you're about to have a child, right, you're thinking, baby chairs and baby stuff and baby food and all this stuff, and in the middle of it someone says, right, we've just wiped away your income, right? So I made that decision that day. I made that decision that there was no way, even if I had to, be out in the street in a cardboard box, I made the decision that there was no way that I was ever going to let anyone tell me, when to come into work, to decide what I was going to get paid, and to basically run my life, to tell me when I can take a holiday. I decided that's the end of it. I'm going to take responsibility for my own income and my own life. And if I have to suffer for a while along the way, I'll do it. I basically burned my bridges, so there was no way back. So I couldn't have, Matthew says all the time about having a plan B. There was no plan B. There could not be a plan B. There was no plan B, right? I had to go forward. And I, at the time, I had property and stuff. Now, I wasn't too bad with the property. I actually did okay with the property because, I sort of sold a lot of stuff at the right time and so on. But basically, I borrowed a lot of money and stuff, and I did every course you can imagine. I mean, I probably spent, up until now, I probably spent well over $100,000 on mentoring and training and stuff like that. And the thing is, about 5 or 6 years ago, my mentor who brought me into Empower Network, I met him, and through him and some other people, I learned more stuff, right, for a very low cost. And from Empower Network, I learned more stuff than I basically learned from spending all the rest of that money, right? All the stuff was there. All the stuff was in the back office. It was in the membership side. It was in the webinars. It was in the trainings. It's all there, right? And the thing about it is, if I had been able to come, 8 years ago or 10 years ago and pay $25, to get access to that stuff, right? To get access to that stuff and understand what I needed to do. I mean, I can't imagine where I would be by now, right? I can't imagine where I would be by now. But the bottom line is, that's what you have at your fingertips today. You've access to Matthew. You've access to myself. You've access, if you've been sent by someone else in the team, you've access to your, upline, and to all the trainings and stuff that we have in Empower Network, and also the Prosperity team and the iPass system as well that we have. So basically, you can get registered for $25. You can come, you're on our site now. If you want, I mean, you can go and you can get access to all our trainings up, on the top right hand side. It's like, $97 a month, right? But there's no point in doing that, because if you join our team, you can basically join our team for $25, and you're going to get access to the stuff. So just click the link below. If you want to find out what we're doing, click the link below. But anyway, now I'm going to go into some blogging stuff. Okay, so the first thing, if you haven't, this might be a wee bit over your head now if you haven't actually blogged before, right? And if you haven't had a blog, but if you're in our team, or if you have a blog of your own, a lot of this stuff is probably going to make sense to you. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to log in here, just into my back office. Just take 1 wee second. Just share the screen. Take a wee second. Okay, Matthew, if you see the screen, let me know when you see it. Hopefully you should maybe see it now. Hopefully.
Just
yeah. Can you see my screen, Matthew? Matthew?
It's just black at the minute.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to go into, okay, if you have get a wee bit of feedback here for some reason. The first thing I'm going to go into is basically whenever you go to do a blog post. Now the thing about Empower Network that's different from WordPress is when you actually go to do a blog post, there is no HTML. Okay, so you don't have to, know how to do HTML stuff and so on and so forth. So basically, the first thing I would always do is, for my blog, I would always pick 2 to 3 keywords, okay? Some people, come in and they'll start off and they'll maybe just type anything at random, but, once you get on a wee bit, you get a wee bit more advanced, I definitely recommend that you pick 2 to 3 keywords, because these are going to be the people that are looking for your stuff, and it's a good idea, to try and get targeted people. So, if your business is about coaching people in personal development, you probably want to use personal development keywords. If your business is about, internet marketing, you'll maybe want to do internet marketing keywords. If it's about blogging, blogging keywords. If you're selling physical products, you'll want to target the keywords for those physical products, okay? So I would say pick 2 to 3 maximum, right? I would say probably 2 keywords for each article that you're going to write, okay? So let's just do a test blog post here. Say we're doing a blog post, okay? So all you do is say 5, we'll just call it 5 ways. 5 ways to syndicate your blog posts. Now, something else I just want to talk about, which is really important when we're on here, okay? A lot of people think that blogging is basically you come, you write a bit of content, and then you sort of, write it and go away, and then you wait, right, for something to happen, okay? And the most important thing, it's in the core commitments, okay? You'll see them in the core commitments, is that you also need to market daily. So there's no point, blogging daily if you're not gonna share your stuff anywhere. If people aren't going to see it, you need to also market your stuff. So whenever you actually, blog, you need to also market it, okay? You need to put it in front of people's eyes to get them to see your stuff. Now, long term, by doing, putting in keywords and stuff, people are going to be able to find you in the search engine and find you from Google and stuff. But you should never bank your business on that, okay? Because, you should never bank on something happening, okay? You should always make it happen. You should always choose to make it happen. So, you would just, what I normally do is, say the keyword is ways to syndicate your blog post, okay, or blog posts. So I would put the keyword in the top line. I always put it in the first line. Now what you can do is, if you don't like it being exactly the same, I don't normally bother. I normally just leave it the same. But, you could call it my top 5 ways, right? If you want to be a wee bit different, the first line. You want to have that keyword in your title. You want to have it in your first line. And I also put it in the last line, okay? I do this for SEO purposes. Okay, let's see. So what I normally do is I would just type it at the top and then at the bottom, my top. Just type it up, my top. 5 ways to syndicate your blog. Okay, so then what I generally do is, now there's different things you can do here. One of the great things about Empower Network is that you can just go and copy the URL of a video. Right? So I could go to YouTube. Just going to show you this. Now, even this isn't going to be the topic of the blog, but I just want to show you this quickly so you can see it. So what I would do, if your post is about, say your post is about blog syndication, right? You go to YouTube and you can just type in the keyword blog syndication. Right. And we'll just we'll grab one of the videos from here. Oh no, this is another person in Empower Network. Haha, they're all in Empower Network. I don't normally put other people's Empower Network blog on my blog. Another little tip. Let's see. Okay, I'll just use that one. Okay, so basically you'll see there's a URL at the top. And all you do here is you just click on the top right, the Add Media button. And you basically just pick video and just paste it. And click Add Media. And that will be your video, and that will be there at the right size, okay? That will be there at completely right size. You don't have to change the size or anything. It's all done automatically, right? So it's really, really simple, okay? So I'll just put here, you know, number one, use. Now, I actually recommend, while I'm doing this, I'm actually going to talk about these things as well, okay? These are some tools that we've discussed in some of the past trainings that I've done, okay, which are in our, whenever you join, you'll be able to see, you know, these trainings in our back office, basically. But one of the things is a thing called IFTTT. Okay, now that's a great thing for syndicating your Facebook and your Twitter and all sorts of things like that. So to syndicate on Twitter, Facebook, and many other networks. Now, it's actually 100% free, okay, so it doesn't cost anything. It might take you a wee while to get a feel of it and to work your way around it, but it's absolutely brilliant. Okay. So the other thing I recommend is a thing called network blogs. Now the thing about network blogs is when you set it up, when you set up network blogs, what will happen is every time you do a blog post on your blog, that can be syndicated to different Facebook groups and your own Facebook wall and Twitter on complete autopilot as well, okay? So I would also use that as a secondary syndication as well. And again, once again, the other beautiful thing about this is it's also completely free, so it doesn't cost you anything. And we have a training on how to actually do this as well from one of our past Hangouts in the back office. Also, network blogs to syndicate all your posts on 100% autopilot. Okay. And then another thing I also would recommend, a lot of people have been doing recently, and you can also do, which is good, is you can make a short Amazon Kindle book.
By the time you're watching this video, you'll know why half the tickets to the next event sold out.
And give it away. Okay, so basically, write a short Kindle book, give it away, and put links in it to your business as well. Okay, so that's another good way to get people to your stuff, to syndicate your stuff. Let's see. It also, you know, it also makes sense, right? Whenever you write a post, you also want to read through the post and see, if that post is going to be of value to someone, to see if it actually helps them, right? To see if it actually helps them to, build their business, or it's going to be useful for them as well. So that's, very, very important as well. Visit Facebook and syndicate your content on your Facebook. So basically, I'm also putting down here, visit Facebook and syndicate your content on Facebook on large groups in your niche. Okay, so large groups in your niche. So whatever your niche is, join them. If your niche is real estate, join big real estate groups. If your niche is internet marketing, join big internet marketing groups. If your niche is network marketing, join big networking groups. Okay. Also on your Facebook page, so any Facebook pages you have, also put your stuff there, syndicate it there as well. Also on your Facebook pages and on your Facebook profile. Now this is a thing I hear from people starting out all the time. Okay, and it is up to you at the end of the day, right? But I'm going to give you my view on it. A lot of people are scared, right, what their friends and their family and stuff are going to say if they start posting or advertising their business on Facebook. But at the end of the day, your business is going to become a part of you. It's going to be a part of you. So personally, I would just go ahead and syndicate my stuff on my personal Facebook profile, because I hear people talking about, setting up a new profile in Facebook and then starting to use it to market. Now, the first thing is that Facebook don't actually like you to have more than one profile, and they could technically go and, terminate your account. I know there's a lot of people who have done multiple ones and haven't had a problem. I also know other people who have done it and have had a problem and have disappeared off Facebook for a while. So, it's up to yourself. But the thing about starting a new Facebook account for your business is it's going to be completely new. You're going to have to spend ages building up friends, building up, people to see it. And that's going to take you a lot of time. And at the end of the day, whatever you're doing, you're doing it because you like it, and you should be able to share it with the people that you're around. And if people don't like it, if you're going to be successful online, people who are successful, don't go around thinking about what other people think of them all the time. They think about creating value for people, they think how they can help people and stuff like that, but they don't think of what all the negative people think about them. They don't focus on that. They focus on what they can do, what they can deliver, what value they can give. And if you're not posting your stuff on your Facebook, on your Facebook profile and all over the place, then there's going to be a lot of people you're not going to reach, and you're not going to be able to add value to them. And that also means you're not going to probably get paid as much, because the less people you share your stuff with, the less income you're going to make. Okay, so that's very important as well. So, visit Facebook, syndicate your content Facebook, in large groups in your niche, also on Facebook pages, and also on your Facebook profile. Okay. Another thing that's great as well, which I'll probably cover later on, is Twitter. Even if a lot of people don't understand Twitter, right, and they really hate Twitter and think it's too much spam and I don't like it and so on and so forth. But the thing about Twitter is, Twitter can actually be quite a good place to market stuff. And tonight I actually set up a Twitter paid ad, so I'll keep you updated on how that goes as well. I'm doing some Twitter paid advertising, right? And what that'll do for me is that first it'll get me more followers, which I've always done free stuff to get followers, and I've got like 87,000 Twitter followers. This is the first time I've ever paid on Twitter for anything, right? So I'll see what result I get from that. But what I'm doing is I'm sending them to a capture page where I'm giving them free training. Okay, so well, I'll keep you informed on how that goes as well, and in the future probably be able to show you how to set up Twitter ads too. Okay. So also set up a Twitter account, set up a Twitter profile. When you go into your Twitter, I'll just go quickly to my Twitter account. It's important to put, to fill in your Twitter URL. Your Twitter profile, fill in your profile on Twitter, put more about yourself. If you're an internet marketer, put you're an internet marketer. If you're a real estate professional, put in your real estate professional. Yeah, if people don't see anybody alive, if they don't see a picture, if you don't upload a picture and you don't write a bit about what you are, then people aren't going to know who you are and they're not going to follow you. Okay, so you want to sort of build a profile on Twitter. You can see there I've got 87,100 followers on Twitter. Okay, and you can see I tweet a bit as well. I've 21.6 thousand tweets as well. Right, so the thing about Twitter is you can go you can also send messages at people. People will message you. Some people will come along, like you can see here, somebody favorited your tweet, somebody retweeted you, and you can basically go and answer those people back. You could just send an at message back to them. If somebody says something to you, you can just go and send them an at message back. Okay. So if you see someone talking at you, just go in and check your messages sometime. And if you see someone's been talking specifically at you, send them an at message back. Now there is a lot of sort of nonsensy stuff as well, but there is people in amongst here who will actually, send you messages. Like here's somebody sent me. I said something, and then he basically sent me a message back, and then I am back. He said, I really find it hard to believe a blog with Google Ads and fake designers prominently displayed. So basically he was saying that a blog wasn't a valid blog, but I sort of pointed out to him that it was a large, it was a really, really big blog with loads of followers and loads of likes and comments, and and he said maybe, I basically said, maybe you're jumping the gun a bit, saying that they're not reliable, because when a blog has got as many followers, as many likes as what they have, they're more likely to be reliable. So, but you can get into conversation and stuff on Twitter. If you see someone retweet someone, you can send a message back to them. You can just send a message back to them. If somebody retweets, you can just send them back an at message. You could put here, we could just go, let me see. You can check out the person first, and then just look at here. Go to their profile and see what they actually do. First, so you can go to their profile, and then you can see in their profile, you see there's the URL. So it's important to put the URL, because if you tweet something to someone and they go and look at your stuff, no, so there's someone there who's a complete beginner, who's only started, hasn't done their first blog post. Now that is someone who doesn't, know how to blog probably. Okay, they probably have never blogged before and they have no idea how to blog. So you could go to that person and you could send them a message. You could send them a message. Copy. I go to my main page. And let's see. I see you are creating a new website. Here are some blogging tips that might help you. Smiley face, and then just put your link. And then if you go and you check your app messages, you'll see if she replied to you. So check it in a few days. So they'll see you're a real person, okay? Because they'll be able to see that I'm a real person. They'll see that I've gone and I've visited their website, and they will, they're highly targeted because they don't actually know how to blog. So, Empower Network would be ideal for them because they would be able to learn how to actually blog. Okay, so there's loads of people like that on, and the thing about it is because there's so many people, there's so few people actually being personal here on Twitter. If you start sending personal messages to people on Twitter, they will answer you back. They will think you're the bees and knees, right? So sometimes you just need to sit and go through some of that stuff. Here's another guy does MLM. You go visit his website, MLM Pro, find out a bit about his website, and then say, look, hi, I see you're, interested in MLM. And connect with them basically and send them a few messages. So you can just go through and do stuff like that, and that's a great way to get people back who are targeted to your actual site as well with Twitter. But the thing is, you want to put your website on your Twitter. You want to put your website, your Twitter up here. If you go into your profile, make sure you put your website. So when people come and you send them a message, they can come and click and it'll take them to your website, right? So it's very important to do that. Very important to also, post a picture and stuff like that. So what you would do is then, whenever you've made your blog, right, syndicate. Okay, so we'll just finish that off. Syndicate your posts on Twitter. I'm going to make this very short because obviously we're in a bit of a hurry here. So syndicate your posts on Pinterest as well. And the thing about Pinterest, whenever you're going to syndicate a blog post on Pinterest, you need to also have a picture. Okay, so you need to also have a picture before you syndicate it, or else it won't show up. Or if you have a YouTube video, the YouTube video will show up. So we'll just leave we'll put a picture. So the first thing I do, and this is very important, you maybe want to write this down, the message title is always going to be an H1 tag, right? So you want your keyword to be H1 tag. Then your first line keyword, I make it generally an H3 tag. And the bottom one, an H2 tag. Now, Google sees these tags as more important words, and basically they will pick that out as being your keyword when they see it's an H1, an H2, an H3 tag, and then when they see it's the same keyword, they'll realize that your blog is about, 5 ways, top 5 ways to syndicate your blog post, or 5 ways to syndicate your blog post. So they'll know that's what your blog's about. If you put up here in the top title, 5 ways to syndicate your blog post, and then on the top here you put, my favorite holiday destination, is Florida, and then you write an article about Florida, and then you put at the bottom, something else. When someone does a search in Google, they won't know what it's about. Google won't know what it's about, and your stuff won't be found in the search engine. Okay, so make sure it's relevant. Make sure you have it, in the message. in the first line and in the last line. And if it's a really long blog, if it's like over 500 words, put the keyword once or twice throughout your article as well. Okay, don't overdo it either. Like, don't do it 20 times, or else they'll know that you're up to something. But make sure you try and do it, at least have your keyword a few times. Okay, or else it won't rank. They won't know what your blog's about. So once you've done that, I mean, basically that's the basics of doing a post, on your Empower Network. Now, as you get more advanced, you probably, you'll also put a call to action for people to maybe join your Empower Network blog. And actually, I can show you here. This is also how you add an image to Empower Network. So just click an image, add media again, and then basically you can upload an image from your computer. So you can go to your computer and you can click click here to browse your computer, and you can basically just go and grab an image you want from the computer. Okay, so there's nothing really. Here you are. I'll use that one. Okay, so grab that image, click add media. Okay, and then there's a banner. Okay, so you can get a banner like that, and that could be your picture. Okay, so you can get that, and then you can hyperlink that to go wherever you want. So I'll just hyperlink it to go to one of my blogs. Okay, and click open like a new window. It means that it'll open in a new window. And then underneath that, at the bottom of your post, I would put, a call to action for people to join your business. So, want to find out more about how I make money. I'm going to use yours, Matthew, from the comfort of my home. Then click the button below. Okay, so then I could go on the internet and just find an image on the internet, but I have one here, so I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to my gallery and go browse from gallery, grab a button that I have here, and just click it, and then I just link it to go to my affiliate link or my Empower Network link. Okay, so www.homebusiness. That basically just goes to my capture page, like so. And then all you do is, if you're in Empower Network and you're in different things, you'll put in, if you have people in your downline, your team, you can just click, you can put it on your public blog. That means the public will see it, everybody sees it. Or you can just send it out to your team. So you could send it out to, different members of your team by clicking these buttons here. Okay. So I'm just going to click public blog and then select the blog. The other thing is, you don't get one blog with this, but you get up to 10 blogs. So you can have 10 different blogs, okay, for the $25 a month. But I'm just going to put it on my main Empower Network blog. So my main Empower Network blog, and then just give it a category. So I can just pick a category. So there's blogging, SEO. I'll pick a few categories. Okay. And then once you've done that, you just come down here and click the publish button. And that's basically your blog post done. Okay, so now if I go to my Empower Network blog, you'll be able to see the finished blog. Should be there. Now that was a very short blog, okay, because obviously we're live and Hangout. But you know, you can see that's basically blog there. Okay. And then if someone comes here and clicks, they'll go to, you know, they'll go to my capture page. So that's how you actually do, you know, that's how you do your blog post and, you know, in your Empower Network blog. If you have your own blog and you're on this call, you know, it's basically the same thing. You know, you basically use the same, you know, the title at the top is your H1 tag. The first line is your H3 tag, or you can make it H2. I prefer H3 because I don't like the two big ones at the top together. So I make that H3, and then I make the bottom one my H2 tag. So that would be the same, you know, on any blog that you do. You know, if you look at any of my blogs, you'll see the same thing, right? You'll see, you know, the same. Something big is happening soon, something big is happening soon. If you go down to the bottom, you'll see the same keyword, yeah? So you'll see that if you look throughout my blog posts, you will see that in all of them. Okay, so once you've actually done your blog post, then you click on the link that is your blog post. Okay, copy that link and then go to Twitter. Go to Twitter, go to Facebook, go to YouTube, or not YouTube, to Pinterest, sorry. And just put, what's the name of the thing? You know, 5 ways to syndicate your blog posts, like so, and then just tweet it. Okay, copy, and then I basically just copy that link, and then I go to Pinterest. Oh, that's a Groovy Capture page I made. Do you see my Groovy Capture page, Matthew?
Very cool.
You remember you said about Mentorview? You give me an idea.
Yeah, yeah.
That'll be our training for next week, how to do those capture pages.
Cool.
So let's see. So Pinterest, okay, Pinterest. www.pinterest. To go to Pinterest. Bet you this will be someone else's account. Yes, it is. I'm going to use it anyway. Just so if I go to pin it, this isn't my account. And the funny thing is that it's completely different from mine. We're actually talking about that tonight, that it's completely different from mine. Mine actually looks completely different. My Pinterest account looks completely different from this one. It's really weird. The wonders of modern technology. Popular, so I'll just put popular. No, let's see. There's nothing. History, hobbies, login. No, I'm going to have to log out because it's Pinterest.com. Don't want the app. Sign in with Facebook. Okay. I know how to use my own account. I don't know how to use that one. Okay. So here we go. So basically you just go to pin something. The thing about this is I normally pin stuff from my site. Only pin. pin. Upload a pin, that's it. Add from a website. Okay, so we'll just put the URL of our website, like so. Click next. Not a valid URL, it says. Okay. Let's see, I'll just copy that, delete it. That's it now. Just click next. And then that basically brings up the pictures from my website. I don't know why it's not bringing up the other one, but I'll just do this one. So, login tips. And then what I generally do is I copy the link and also put the link here. Okay, and that means that people can actually click that as well. That will become a live link. 5 ways to, and it'll also be shortened, the URL as well, automatically. Now, if you don't put that live link there, then people won't be able to click on that link. But the thing is, if they click on my picture, it will automatically take them to my website. So when someone comes onto Pinterest who's following me, and they see, you know, my pin up, basically, if they click on that, it will take them directly to my blog. Okay, so that's how you share your, you know, your stuff on Pinterest. You know, if you're doing it on WordPress, if you were sharing something on WordPress, you just go to your WordPress blog, and you can put a pin it plugin, right? If you say, if I go down to the bottom. If I go down to the bottom of one of my posts here, you'll see there is a plugin here that you can pin it. Okay, so here's one that I haven't done yet. So I can just click like, Google Plus, tweet. It's very, very important to do the syndication, because if you don't syndicate your stuff, a lot less people are going to see it. So you want to market your stuff to as many people as possible. Another thing you can do as well is you can do guest posts on other people's blogs. So if you know someone who has a blog with a lot of traffic in your niche, you can ask them and say, look, if I write you a 300 or 400 or 500 word article, you know, would you post it on your blog? And then basically you just put a link back to your blog on the article, and whenever people come to then visit their website, they're going to see this link, right? So they're going to come down, they're going to see the link, and whenever they click on the link, it's going to take them back to your blog. So if someone comes and clicks on your link, it's on their website, it'll then take them back to your page. Yeah. So I think if you've any questions, you know, just if you've any questions or there's anything that I haven't covered or anything you would like covered there that I have missed, if you just basically post them in just below in the comments below, and I'll be able to answer them for you. Okay, so if you've any sort of comments and any of that stuff, just give us a shout in the comments. Okay, and I'll answer them for you. So that's basically me for this week. I don't think I've talked enough. So I'll put it back over here. Go back over to Matthew. Matthew, just on the screen. That's it.
That's great, Satiras. That's a really great training there. Thank you for that. Very. I think you covered pretty much everything on writing a blog and syndication and all the good stuff. Yeah, that's really good and tremendous value there, you know. So if everybody did that, you know, it's guaranteed success, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. The more you syndicate, the more you market and syndicate, the more results you see. Um, the only way to not have results is not to market, not to syndicate, not to show anybody. You can be the greatest singer in the world or the greatest entertainer, but if nobody sees you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter until you get your own YouTube channel and do 1,000 videos.
Yeah.
Then people start to see it.
Yeah. That's it. So it's consistent action, doing the right things, following the 8 core commitments as much as possible. Like I know I don't do every single one every single day, but
Yeah,
probably 80% of them every day.
absolutely. I mean, when I started, and when I started to have, a lot of success in Empower Network at the beginning, what I did was I was just syndicating like crazy in all the big groups, and as well as that, I was actually posting after listening to the 15K formula. I started doing, instead of 1 post a day, I was doing like 3 posts a day, and from doing that, I was getting like crazy results from doing that and from posting in all the groups and stuff. Now, I maybe post less often or whatever in my Empower Network blog at the minute, but the thing is, I've got hundreds of blogs, and I mean, I post. I do at least 5 or 6 posts a day every day, no matter what, and even if I'm not there, I schedule the posts, and I don't know if, I think, did we cover the schedule in any of the training? I scheduled some posts, but anyway, that'll be another thing that we can go into at some stage. But there's just so many things that you're going to be able to learn from us, and that we learn as we go along. And the only way is to actually get started and take action from somebody who can show you and teach you how to build your own build your own team, build your own brand, build your own business, take your own traditional business to the next level. Because with your Empower Network blog, the marketing and stuff that you're going to be learning, how to market any business you have. It's not just about Empower Network, it's anything you do in the future. Any physical business, doesn't matter what it is, you're going to be learning how to actually market it online. And mark my words, in a few years, any business that isn't online probably won't be in business. If they don't know how to market online, a lot of businesses aren't going to be in business. There's going to be a lot of business shutting down. You just have to look at Woolworths and all the extra visions and all these different record stores and all that are out of business. Why? Because everybody's banned on the internet, and if you can't be found on the internet, then you're not going to be in business. So you need to learn this stuff whether you want to or not at some stage. Better now than later.
And it's very, very simple as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only people that aren't successful with this are those that don't take the steps.
Absolutely.
It is as simple as taking the steps daily, and keep going until successful with them.
Absolutely.
Because there is a growth phase, like when you plant a seed. It takes a number of weeks or a number of months before that seed breaks through out of the ground, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for your breakthrough, and your breakthrough will happen. And your breakthrough must happen as long as you keep going with the daily step. And by keep having those 8 core commitments as your guide, whether you complete 7 of them every day or 6 every day, but if you're continually doing 80% of them, your success will be guaranteed. And if you can do 100%, then your success will be faster and greater. It's as simple as that. And the great thing about it is that everybody can do those. everybody can follow the 8 core commitments that are within the Fast Start training. As soon as you join Empower Network, you get access to those straight away and go through those videos that David Wood has just done, new videos. It's so powerful. And follow the steps that he says, and then continue to do those every day, and you will be successful with this. You will transform your life. You will transform your whole paradigm by doing it. And you know, we're doing it, and it's possible for you. It's just making a decision, clicking the join link below if you haven't already done so, and getting on board with us. And amazing things will happen. You'll be so glad you did. See yourself 6 months from now, making a decision, taking the steps, creating the results. Think about your vision, what you want to create in your life. And there's 3 questions that I often ask myself whenever I'm making a decision that sometimes I'm not too sure about, or a difficult decision. I ask myself, well, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I see what the worst thing that can happen from making that decision, and generally it's not that bad. Oh, I might be out of a little bit of money. I might be out of a little bit of time. It might just be a mistake. I might go down a dead end. Okay, no big deal. I can handle that, right? And then I say, what's the best thing that can happen? Well, the best thing that can happen, I can actually become financially free. I can completely transform my life, transform my family's life. I can live this lifestyle. I can help my family. I can help these many people. I can create this magnificent life through this decision, right? And that's what's possible here with Empower Network. You know, you can absolutely transform your life with the decision to join now. And then I ask the question, what's most important to me out of these 2? I look at the 2 answers to the 2 questions. What's the worst thing that can happen? What's the best thing that can happen? What's most important to me out of these 2? Well, and it's generally the best thing that can happen. I can handle the worst thing. The best thing, the regret of not making that decision and not achieving that in my life, that's no way. Always make that decision, and always glad that I made that decision, and you'll be glad that you make that decision right now and join us.
Absolutely. Just click the button below to get started. So that's us. That's us for this week. Next week, I'm going to be showing you next week some very, very ninja capture pages. So definitely don't, make sure you're here next week, okay? Because it's a really, really good training. I'm only going to leave the training up for a few days, and then it's going to go into our back office, and it's only going to be available to our top team members, okay? So make sure you don't not get here for that, okay? So that's it for me. Yep. Go ahead, Matthew. Finish it.
Just write it in your diary now. Put it in your calendar.
Exactly. Put it in your diary now. And we'll be sending you an email before. We'll send you an email about 15 minutes before, and probably the day before, earlier on in the day as well, just to remind you. So keep an eye out in your email as well for any emails from myself or Matthew. And we'll see you then next week, okay? So it's night-night from me.
Good night from me.
Okay.